Childhood trauma is a profound and often hidden source of depression, shaping our emotional landscape in ways we may not fully understand. From a shamanic perspective, these traumas are not just psychological scars but energetic disruptions that fragment the soul and sever our connection to our true essence. Healing these wounds requires a holistic approach that addresses the spiritual, emotional, and energetic dimensions of our being. Childhood trauma encompasses a wide range of experiences, from physical or emotional abuse to neglect, abandonment, or the loss of a loved one. These experiences can be overt, such as enduring violence or witnessing a traumatic event, or they can be subtle, such as growing up in an environment where emotional needs were consistently unmet. Regardless of their form, these traumas leave imprints on the psyche, often buried deep within the subconscious mind. In shamanic terms, these imprints are not just psychological scars but energetic disruptions that fragment the soul and sever our connection to our true essence. Children are particularly vulnerable to trauma because their sense of self is still forming. When a child experiences pain, fear, or neglect, they lack the cognitive and emotional tools to process these experiences fully. Instead, they internalize the trauma, often blaming themselves or believing that they are inherently flawed. Over time, these unresolved emotions and beliefs become embedded in the energy field, creating blockages that hinder the free flow of life force. These blockages can manifest as depression, anxiety, or a pervasive sense of emptiness in adulthood. In shamanic traditions, the concept of soul loss provides a powerful framework for understanding the impact of childhood trauma. Soul loss occurs when a part of the soul, the essence of who we are, becomes fragmented or dislodged due to intense emotional or physical pain. This fragmentation is a protective mechanism. The soul retreats to avoid further harm, leaving the individual feeling disconnected, numb, or incomplete. While this response may offer temporary relief, it ultimately leads to a sense of spiritual and emotional impoverishment. For someone who has experienced childhood trauma, soul loss can manifest as a persistent feeling of being not quite here or not fully alive. They may struggle with low self-esteem, chronic self-doubt, or a sense of being unworthy of love and happiness. These feelings are often at the root of depression, as the individual is cut off from their innate vitality and joy. From a shamanic perspective, healing depression requires more than just addressing surface-level symptoms. It involves retrieving the lost fragments of the soul and reintegrating them into the whole. Central to the healing of childhood trauma is the concept of the inner child, the part of us that retains the memories, emotions, and beliefs formed during our early years. The inner child is not just a metaphorical construct, but a living, energetic presence within us. When trauma occurs, the inner child becomes frozen in time, carrying the pain and fear of those early experiences. This frozen state can persist into adulthood, influencing our thoughts, behaviors, and relationships in ways we may not fully understand. Shamanic practices often involve working with the inner child as a means of healing childhood trauma. This work requires creating a safe, nurturing space where the inner child can express its pain and begin to trust again. Through rituals, guided meditations, or journeying, the shamanic practitioner helps the individual connect with their inner child, offering the love, validation, and protection that may have been missing during their formative years. By healing the inner child, the individual can begin to release the energetic blockages that contribute to depression and reclaim their sense of wholeness. Healing childhood trauma from a shamanic perspective involves a process of retrieval and reintegration. This process begins with identifying the specific traumas that have caused soul loss. This can be challenging, as many childhood traumas are buried deep within the subconscious mind. Shamanic techniques such as journeying, dream work, or working with plant medicines can help bring these hidden wounds to the surface, allowing the individual to confront and process them in a safe and supportive environment. Once the traumas have been identified, the next step is to retrieve the lost soul fragments. This is often done through a shamanic journey, where the practitioner enters a trance state and travels to non-ordinary reality to locate and retrieve the missing pieces of the soul. The retrieved fragments are then reintegrated into the individual's energy field, restoring their sense of wholeness and vitality. This process can be deeply transformative, as it allows the individual to release old patterns of pain and step into a new, more empowered version of themselves. Ritual and ceremony play a crucial role in the shamanic healing of childhood trauma. These practices provide a structured, sacred space in which the individual can confront their pain, release old wounds, and invite healing energy into their lives. Rituals can take many forms, from simple acts of mindfulness to elaborate ceremonies involving drumming, chanting, or the use of sacred objects. The key is that the ritual is performed with intention and reverence, creating a container for transformation. One powerful ritual for healing childhood trauma is the creation of a soul retrieval ceremony. This ceremony typically involves setting an intention, calling in supportive spirits or guides, and performing a journey to retrieve the lost soul fragments. The retrieved fragments are then brought back into the individual's energy field, often through the use of breathwork, sound, or touch. The ceremony concludes with a period of integration, during which the individual reflects on their experience and sets intentions for moving forward. Nature is a powerful ally in the healing of childhood trauma. In shamanic traditions, the natural world is seen as a source of wisdom, healing, and renewal. Spending time in nature can help individuals reconnect with their essence and release the energetic blockages caused by trauma. The stillness of the trees, the vastness of the sky, and the rhythm of the waves can all serve as reminders of our place in the grand design, helping to restore a sense of balance and harmony. One way to incorporate nature into the healing process is through the practice of grounding. Grounding involves connecting with the earth's energy, often by walking barefoot on the ground, sitting under a tree, or lying on the grass. This practice helps to anchor the individual in the present moment, releasing the tension and anxiety associated with past traumas. Grounding can also help to stabilize the energy field, making it easier to integrate the retrieved soul fragments. Creative expression is another powerful tool for healing childhood trauma. In shamanic traditions, creativity is seen as a direct expression of the soul's energy. Engaging in creative activities such as painting, dancing, writing, or making music can help to unlock the emotions and memories stored within the inner child, allowing them to be expressed and released. Creativity also provides a means of reconnecting with the joy and vitality that may have been lost due to trauma. One effective way to use creative expression in healing is through the practice of art therapy. Art therapy involves using visual art as a means of exploring and processing emotions. This can be particularly helpful for individuals who struggle to articulate their feelings verbally. By creating art, they can access the deeper layers of their psyche, bringing hidden wounds to the surface and beginning the process of healing. Healing childhood trauma is not a solitary journey. In shamanic traditions, healing is often a communal process, involving the support and participation of the entire tribe. In modern times, this might mean seeking out a supportive community of like-minded individuals who can offer encouragement, understanding, and guidance. This could be a support group, a spiritual community, or a circle of friends who are open to honest, soul-level conversations. Being part of a community can help to alleviate the sense of isolation that often accompanies depression and trauma. It provides a space where individuals can share their experiences, receive validation, and feel seen and heard. This sense of belonging can be incredibly healing, as it reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles, and that we are part of a larger web of life. While shamanic practices offer profound tools for healing childhood trauma, they are not a substitute for modern therapy. In fact, the two can work together synergistically, providing a holistic approach to healing. Therapy can offer valuable insights into the patterns and beliefs that have been shaped by childhood trauma, while shamanic practices can address the spiritual and energetic dimensions of these wounds. For example, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can help individuals identify and challenge negative thought patterns, while shamanic journeying can help to retrieve and reintegrate lost soul fragments. Similarly, somatic therapy can help individuals release the physical tension associated with trauma, while grounding practices can help to stabilize the energy field. By integrating these approaches, individuals can address the multiple layers of their trauma and move toward a more comprehensive healing. Healing childhood trauma is not a linear process. It is a journey of transformation that requires patience, courage, and compassion. There may be moments of intense pain and discomfort as old wounds are brought to the surface and released. There may also be moments of profound insight and liberation as the individual begins to reconnect with their true essence and reclaim their sense of wholeness. Throughout this journey, it is important to remember that healing is possible. The wounds of childhood trauma may run deep, but they do not define who we are. With the right support and tools, we can heal these wounds and step into a new, more empowered version of ourselves. As we do so, we not only heal ourselves but also contribute to the healing of the collective, creating a ripple effect of transformation that extends far beyond our individual lives. Childhood trauma is a profound and often hidden source of depression, shaping our emotional landscape in ways we may not fully understand. From a shamanic perspective, these traumas are not just psychological scars but energetic disruptions that fragment the soul and sever our connection to our true essence. Healing these wounds requires a holistic approach that addresses the spiritual, emotional, and energetic dimensions of our being. Through shamanic practices such as soul retrieval, inner child work, ritual, and creative expression, we can begin to heal the wounds of childhood trauma and reclaim our sense of wholeness. By integrating these practices with modern therapy and the support of a loving community, we can embark on a journey of transformation that leads to greater clarity, inner peace, and a deeper sense of belonging in the world. Ultimately, the healing of childhood trauma is not just about alleviating depression, it is about rediscovering the light within us and stepping into our true power. As we do so, we honor the resilience of our spirit and the infinite potential for growth and renewal that lies within us all.